Carol Vorderman has been exposed yet again as a complete hypocrite after deciding to quit Wales because Labour, yes, that's right, Labour, the party that she thought was going to be so brilliant for everyone, has decided to increase council tax threefold on her luxury home in Pembrokeshire. Andrea Jenkyns, isn't this absolute proof that the champagne socialists are all talk, but actually, when it comes for them, they're out?
I mean, one thing I think what should be pleased about that they're not actually taxing selfies, scantily clad selfies, or should be bankrupt, Dad.
There's another one. This was
Oh
inside
yeah,
the house, apparently.
there you go. But again, yes, of course. I mean, let's see how her and also the likes of Gary Lineker remain silent after the next budget, because I think there's going to be lots of hammering of those who's got wealth in the budget and the middle classes as well.
I mean, the thing that's fascinating, Alex, is she said this was her fantasy home. She said that she'd never want to leave. She bought it for £350,000. She's now made a £100,000 profit on it. And surely, if Miss Vorderman really is what she claims to be, she wouldn't mind paying triple the council tax under Labour.
Yeah, and perhaps she's selling it early to avoid any threat of being stung for capital gains tax with what may happen in the budget. I think the real message here is Labour will always want to put up taxes, and we're about to find that out in a big way in a few weeks' time.
It is interesting to see, though, isn't it, Andrea, the way that these hard left MSM figures are trying to justify the unjustifiable. It's not just Carol Vorderman, although she is one of the worst. It's James O'Brien, Gary Lineker, as Alex mentions. It's Paul Brand. It's Ben Kentish. They are proving so quickly that they were never about holding your government to account. They just wanted Labour in power at any cost. Yeah. And now they are becoming fanboys and activists, not journalists.
But I think, haven't they always been that, these people?
Yeah.
And there's no true really, with people like that, I don't know how they keep in a role, to be honest with you, because we know that mainstream media is heavily regulated, meant to show both sides of the story, both sides of politics, but it doesn't seem to happen on their shows, does it, Dan?
No, indeed. But do you remember Vorderman, Andrea, used to be all over all of your people. She was having those snowball fights with David Cameron. She was charming Boris Johnson at number 10 Downing Street. She was at the races with Matt Hancock.
She was our mathematics star, wasn't she?
Yeah. Yes. So I actually think it's a grift on her part. It's something that actually has been done for purely strategic reasons, and now she just doesn't like the reality of Labour and government because, let's be honest, socialism is hell for all of us. But first, it's the best time of year. Football is back. We're talking Premier League in the UK and in the US, NFL Sundays and college football Saturdays. With that, the glorious kind of fantasy football lineups is back too. So it's where your inner manager comes alive, setting the perfect fantasy roster, screaming at your TV and making last-minute waiver moves that either make you a hero or the guy everyone ridicules in the group chat. But listen, while you're over here making sure your fantasy team is dialed in, don't let your personal grooming become the guy that gets left on the bench, because let's be honest, nobody wants to fumble their grooming routine. So that's where Manscaped's Performance Package 5.0 Ultra comes in, acting as your all-in-one grooming playbook. From keeping things sharp down below with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra to taking care of those rogue ear and nose hairs with the Weed Whacker 2.0, this is the lineup that'll keep you looking and feeling like a champ on and off the field. It will help you feel clean, confident, and ready to dominate your fantasy league. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra Groin and Body Hair Trimmer is the franchise player of your grooming roster with precise trimming capabilities. It's reliable, efficient, and gets the job done without fumbling. Whether it's for a date night, weekend tailgate, or just everyday grooming, this is the tool you want on your squad. And no one wants a surprise nose or ear hair making a guest appearance on game day, right? So look at this. The Weed Whacker 2.0 handles those details like a pro, keeping you neat and ready to go. No missed tackles in your grooming game. And 2 free gifts today. The Boxers 2.0 Midnight Bravo and the Shed 2.0 Toiletry Bag Premium Gear to ensure you're always ready for action, whether at home or on the road. So join the over 10 million men. I'm one of them who trust Manscaped, and get ready for kickoff by heading over to manscaped.com. All you need to do is use the code Outspoken, that's at checkout, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping. Trust me, you'll be drafting the real MVP of grooming this season. So 20% off and free shipping when you use the code Outspoken at www.manscaped.com. Stay on top of your grooming game and be ready for anything the season throws your way. I wanted to bring some joy to the conferences, which have been pretty dark and pretty grim, and I think it's actually in humour at the moment that sometimes political realities come out because we know the MSM is covering up so much. So first, Andrew Lawrence as a drunk LBC presenter. I wonder who he's talking about.
Good morning. Well, as good as it can be in a country of gammons and bigots. And what's happening this week? I can hardly bring myself to say the words without throwing up. Tory party conference. Just been a little bit sick in my mouth. Are you happy now, bigots? Tory party conference. Hurts your ears, doesn't it? All the worst people, the stinkiest, ugliest, nastiest people congregating in the same place. And which city is hosting the Conservative Party conference? Birmingham. Could there be any greater smear on Birmingham's good reputation than their willingness to host the Tory party conference? Well, I hope it was worth it, Birmingham, because let me tell you, I won't be visiting you anytime soon. Why are the Tories even bothering to have a conference after the utter humiliation of the general election result? Why would they want to show their faces in public after being utterly rejected by voters? How are there even any Tories left? Why haven't they shuffled off to live alone in the woods, filled with a deep and inescapable sense of personal shame? Why are they even still alive? The way they systematically destroyed this country over 14 years of total misgovernment, some of them deserve the death penalty. I'll tell you how embarrassing the Tory party conference is. Not even Boris has turned up. He's too busy promoting his new book, where he throws all his friends under a bus.
And then Katie Hopkins as Rachel Reeves at Labour conference.
Name is Chancellor Rachel Reeves, ceramic bobhead, hair by Lego, dress by Lord Ali, fresh from kissed armour, shitter, and heating provided by the taxpayer. My speechwriter says this speech is about being together. He says to smile, say our and we, and collective endeavour. Together, collective endeavour, our we. You may know I am the first female ever to be in politics and to be Chancellor ever in 800 years. Obviously Maggie Thatcher was up against it 50 years ago when she was actually Prime Minister, but we don't talk about her anymore, and we've taken her picture off the walls of number 10 Downing Street. I am the first woman ever to be in politics.
I mean, Andrew, it's true, isn't it? The cheek of Rachel Reeves constantly going on about being a woman when you guys had Margaret Thatcher in the late 70s, and Labour has never even come close to having a female leader. Although maybe we'll soon.
I agree.
Maybe we'll soon if this Starmer stuff all exposed. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please do subscribe if you want lots more clips and interviews like that. Plus, if you want to watch our totally uncensored after show, then visit www.outspoken.live.